Alright, I want to talk about Dr. Nowhere's phen-228, okay? I believe he's a god, okay? Whether it's of life, of death, I'll leave that up to. I don't want to go too far into that because it's like we have kind of proof for both. He could be both, he could be just of death. Because we have enough evidence to confirm either or would work. But I just want to say, borderline, he's a god, right? With the evidence we have now, we'll say this. Because 2003, he hijacks a station, right? And sorry, let's back up. They call him a species of a species of suffering. Most importantly, what we should call it. But I don't think he's a species at all, because of the fact that we see him broad. He hijacks the broadcast, which is called the Tree of Heaven. Okay, symbolism's already starting. Okay, now stay with me. We keep going. Okay, he infects a bunch of people, and everybody who sees him is paralyzed. He leaves us a reverse message that when reversed, he leaves us a reverse message that when we reverse gives us the. I'm talking too fast. I'm running out of breath. I'm sorry. He basically says that once we've seen him, we will always be able to see him, and in turn, we will then be paralyzed. And nobody else can see him besides the people who have been paralyzed. But at that point, it is way too late for you. I don't know if it's suggesting that you're basically dead, but seeing him is the power that activates to basically confuckle you. So then you've now been confuckled and been turned into human bed torch, and now you're stuck. So then, right, let's leave that alone because no parasite just you see just cripples you. No, that's some power. That's some god power. So, okay, our next evidence is the fact that when we see him ourselves. Okay, no, let's back up. Sorry, I forgot something. I forgot the very part where it does like infer that the people who are paralyzed kind of do slowly die, but basically the only people who can see him are basically people who are going to die. Okay, it's kind of weird. The only other person was a kid who took a photograph of him, and now you're screaming of hell, damned souls. I don't know. Kind of seems like he could be the stand-in for Satan or death. So, let's continue. We see him in this paradise thing. Hold on. I'll pull up the image and put it on screen. We see him in this paradise, and he states that when the day comes, we'll hear trumpets and he'll open the sky, which is referring to the book of Revelations when the I forgot the term for it, but it's basically it's an apocalypse, right? The seven trumpets which we hear during both his speech and the guy who's paralyzed says he can hear. We know that those are the disasters for the apocalypse, and that means that humanity will be wiped out. So I think he's the bringer of death and of death because he's causing it. He's anytime he's there, we hear trumpets. He talks about opening the sky, which is one of the deaths that can occur, and one of the ways that people do end up dying from the Book of Revelations. So it only makes sense, and we are hearing screams of thousands of dead people. So I mean, evidence is kind of all there to say he's kind of a god. What god it is, I don't really know. I I do want to say I really like his design because of the fact that you see his horrid face. It is clearly burnt, which still makes me think of like a devilish figure because his face's been torched off, and religions tell you hell is on fire. You don't want to go there. Woo. Um, I got a little too far into that one, but the symbolism is there, and then we do see his stomach, which is kind of like I started to think it was like a combined. It was just a bunch of souls or like body parts is what it could be, and that's what he could be referring to. Is the more people die, the more power he gets, which would record death or hell's population. And when we do see him splitting open the sky, it's not like a normal sky. It's like a heavenly sky, like he's ready to fucking kill you. So I think that he would be a god, whether it's god of death, god of. I completely forgot to mention, like, there's the seven heavenly trumpets, which are like a whole they're bringers of calamity, right? And they're supposed to be simplified as the only ones who can use them are like holy figures, or and the Lord himself, right? And he's using them all the time in his speech when he's killing people, and it's kind of just all there. All the symbolism kind of just connects, and I forgot that somehow. But yeah, here we are.